Hi there. Welcome to our tutorial on C++. In this session we will learn about basics of C++, its terminologies, features, difference between C and C++, history, and many more things. So now let's start our session. C++ is an object-oriented programming language. It is an extension to C programming. C++ is a general-purpose, case-sensitive, free-form programming language that supports object-oriented, procedural, and generic programming. C++ is a middle-level language, as it encapsulates both high and low-level language features. Now let's see object-oriented programming system. We will learn it in details in our later session. For now let's see what are these features. C++ supports the object-oriented programming. The four major pillars of object-oriented programming used in C++ are inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation, and abstraction. Now let's see what are standard libraries in C++. Standard C++ programming is divided into three important parts. The core library includes the data types, variables, and literals, etc. The standard library includes the set of functions manipulating strings, files, etc. and the standard template library, STL, includes the set of methods manipulating a data structure. Now you must be wondering where to use C++ language. What are the usage of this language? By the help of C++ programming language, we can develop different types of secured and robust applications. Window application, client-server application, device drivers, and embedded firmware, etc. Before starting C++, I assume that you are familiar with C language. So let's discuss the differences between them. You can see a table of differences on your screen. Let's discuss them. C follows the procedural style programming, whereas C++ is multi-paradigm. It supports both procedural and object-oriented. Data is less secured in C, whereas, in C++, you can use modifiers for class members to make it inaccessible for outside users. C follows the top-down approach, whereas C++ follows the bottom-up approach. C does not support function overloading. C++ supports function overloading. In C, you can't use functions in structure. In C++, you can use functions in structure. C does not support reference variables. C++ supports reference variables. In C, scanf and printf are mainly used for input-output. C++ mainly uses streamcin and code to perform input and output operations. Operator overloading is not possible in C. Operator overloading is possible in C++. C programs are divided into procedures and modules. C++ programs are divided into functions and classes. C does not provide the feature of namespace. C++ supports the feature of namespace. Exception handling is not easy in C. It has to perform using other functions. C++ provides exception handling using try and catch block. Hope you have figured out the differences between C and C++. Now let's see history of C language. History of C++ language is interesting to know. C++ programming language was developed in 1980 by Bjarne Stroustrup at Bell Laboratories of AT&T, American Telephone and Telegraph, located in USA. Bjarne Stroustrup is known as the founder of C++ language. It was developed for adding a feature of OOP, object-oriented programming, in C without significantly changing the C component. C++ programming is relative, called a superset, of C. It means any valid C program is also a valid C++ program. Let's see the programming languages that were developed before C++ language. You can see a chart on your screen. Now let's see the features of C++ language. C++ is object-oriented programming language. It has many features like C language. You can see a diagram showing features of it. Let's discuss them in brief. Simple. C++ is a simple language in the sense that it provides structured approach to break the problem into parts, rich set of library functions, data types, etc. Machine independent or portable. Unlike assembly language, C programs can be executed in many machines with little bit or no change. But it is not platform independent. Mid-level programming language. C++ is also used to do low-level programming. It is used to develop system applications such as kernel, driver, etc. It also supports the feature of high-level language. That is why it is known as mid-level language. Structured programming language. C++ is a structured programming language in the sense that we can break the program into parts using functions. So, it is easy to understand and modify. Rich library. C++ provides a lot of inbuilt functions that makes the development fast. Memory management. It supports the feature of dynamic memory allocation. In C++ language, we can free the allocated memory at any time by calling the free function. Speed. The compilation and execution time of C++ language is fast. Pointer. C++ provides the feature of pointers. We can directly interact with the memory by using the pointers. We can use pointers for memory, structures, functions, array, etc. Recursion. In C++, we can call the function within the function. It provides code reusability for every function. Extensible. C++ language is extensible because it can easily adopt new features. Object-oriented. C++ is object-oriented programming language. OOPS makes development and maintenance easier, whereas in procedure-oriented programming language it is not easy to manage if code grows as project size grows. And compiler-based. C++ is a compiler-based programming language. It means without compilation no C++ program can be executed. First we need to compile our program using compiler and then we can execute our program. Hope you liked this session. In next session we will learn how to install C++ compiler and we'll do our first program in C++. Till then enjoy the session, thank you.